not comply. Words to live by from the Daily Mojo.
I want to talk about the Fox News story. We're not going to go into it for those people who are listening. It's just, and Brad, if you can, or Ron, put it somewhere where they can find it. But the in a nutshell, there was the headline, and I did look into it. I didn't fact check it completely. I didn't tear it apart. But the premise is the idea that there was a guy that came into a location, getting ready to shoot it up, and a security guard stopped him. And the demographic, the skin color was of a sort that no one wanted to report it. So essentially, legally carrying firearm guy saves the day from a mass shooting. No one says a bloody flippin' word. Had it gone through and the demographic, it would have been all over the news.
Well, the thing is, this happened back in June 23rd is when this happened, because I read this story yesterday, and the guy that walked into, it was Turnberry Towers down on the north end of the Strip, and he walked in and he takes a shot, and then the gun jams, and he doesn't shoot the security guard because the gun jammed twice, and he starts to walk out, and the security guard got up and popped him in the back and then held him at gunpoint. And you're right, there very little got out about this story because it was a gun doing a good thing. Well, it was a person doing a good thing with a gun, but it's amazing. The mainstream media will keep this stuff hidden as long as they possibly can.
Well, and I expect them to do that, but that's why you and Ron and I talk on Wednesdays and you guys every day about getting awareness out to the people who, the common people like us. What happens? I mean, that, our crazy twin who has no room for any kind of discussion other than the exact zealot religion, whatever she calls it, that she believes, and there's no room for compromise. There's no room for discussion. We need to get those people and say, look, here's what happened. Here's a real thing. And if you can't get to them, then they're trash. Throw them away. If you can talk to someone about it, say, look, would you consider that in this case, it was a good thing to have? It was a good thing to be used, that tool, for that situation? So that's all I wanted to put. I didn't want to belabor that point.
And yet you did. No, it's hard to believe that a friend is an NGI, and I really hope she's not, but it's quite possible that she is. Yeah. All right, moving on to the IG. This would be old white-haired dude.
So I forget who this guy is because I'm not looking at my stuff. But the idea, it's an oldie but goodie. The idea about the fossil fuel argument or discussion about actually getting rid of fossil fuels. Maybe this is something you've never heard. Maybe you're familiar with it, but hit it.
3, 2, 1.
Biden, for example, he wants to get rid of fossil fuels. Well, he's flying in a 200-ton Air Force One plane. That, by the way, all the parts and all the electronics and communication, it's all made with oil derivatives manufactured from crude oil. And it's flying on aviation fuel to keep those engines going so he can go 600 miles an hour, travel around the world. They don't want to get involved in a conversation because, he wants to get rid of fossil fuels. I'm all for it, if you got a replacement for it. But we've had 200 years to replace fossil fuels and been unable to do it. They come up, well, renewables are going to replace fossil fuels. Well, renewables only generate electricity. Wind generates electricity. Sun generates electricity. Wind turbines, solar panels can manufacture nothing for society. In fact, if you'll look back at it, all the parts of wind turbines, all the parts of solar panels, and all the parts of the vehicles, EVs, and every other vehicle, is all made with fossil fuels, the derivatives manufactured from crude oil.
It is weird that they don't seem to see that.
It was dry and boring a little bit, but again, if you can have an argument or a discussion point that you could maybe sway somebody's opinion to some common sense. If you were a leader in something, let's say the presidency, why aren't you the first person with the electric-powered airplane, or Pete Buttigieg? Why are you keep flying on a private jet, John Kerry? Hey, get on your solar-powered transportation vehicle and use it. Show us how it works. But you're right, you can't make anything without petroleum-based products these days. It just it doesn't work. And those crazies that say, "Well, we're going to get rid of it." Okay, cool, but you're not going to eat. No.
You got to admit, though, they've made more progress on electric vehicles in the past, 2 years than we've ever seen before. And I know it's driven by, it's not the market driving it. That's the problem. But Rolls-Royce just came out with a new EV, a Rolls-Royce EV. And it is, guesses as to how much it is?
Oh, I couldn't even. $2 million.
$400,000.
Oh.
But it has leather seats. Anyway, up next is dude here. Let's see.
So
he's talking about. Oh, okay, go.
I know what you're talking about. This one. So I mean, this is kind of the primer for how to argue, like what's the word? Obama's Saul Alinsky. Rules for Radicals, How to Combat Rules for Radicals is also a book. So this is kind of interesting. He breaks apart the LGB from the whatever else those.
Whatever the other letters are.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah.
No one knows, but I thought it was an interesting illumination on how that works. So go ahead and hit it.
There is a huge difference between the LGBs and the TQ pluses. Because the TQ plus is all about gender ideology, the LGB is about sexuality. There is nothing in conflict with reality about being lesbian, gay, bisexual. It is an objective reality that sometimes people are attracted to other people of the same sex. The TQ plus is based around gender ideology, which is in direct conflict with objective reality. It demands that everybody deny objective reality and kowtow to the ideology by using people's preferred pronouns that are in conflict with their biological sex. Now, I'm all for adults being able to identify and live however they want, but the second you start forcing other people to play your game, that's when people are going to get upset. And people have gotten very upset, and they've lumped in the LGBs with that anger. And I'm tired of being lumped in with an ideology that has nothing to do with who I am as a gay man.
Right. I'm tired of being lumped in with crazy. And they should be. This is Dave Chappelle's whole deal.
Yeah. But it's for me, at least, if I didn't, I'm a pretty good debater, but I think it's nice to see these things and go, oh, I never thought about it that way. Next time I'm in a confrontational situation or a little argument or heated debate, maybe I have another tool to pull out and go, hey, have you considered this? These three letters I can deal with. And really, I can, because I don't care about the first three letters. If that's the way you want to swing, cool. We can still be friends. I'm okay. I can work with you. But that all the TQI, LU, FU, whatever, that's just nuts. Those are the nut balls. So I just thought it was kind of cool.
Or lack thereof. Yeah.
Right. And come on, let's be honest with each other. Who doesn't enjoy sucking on a big old Tootsie Roll every now and then? Am I right?
Yeah. And I have to put the phone down because the small person doesn't need to hear your whatever. So
I didn't say anything. I said, who doesn't enjoy sucking on a Tootsie Roll?
Well, I couldn't hear because you were down between my legs.
Here, I'll get it.
This next one is funny.
Yes, it is, actually. for those of, and I'll go ahead and hit it because I know what it is. And if you were listening a couple of days ago, you heard it. But for those of you who didn't hear it, this is going to make you go, no way.
A nonprofit in the United Kingdom says don't say the word vagina anymore, even though it's anatomically correct. Say what instead?
Bonus hole.
Not a joke. Please start calling it bonus hole.
What do you even, I mean, yeah.
Is there any normal person, and I mean across a wide spectrum of normal, that looks at that and says this is not an attempt to erase an entire, make irrelevant an entire gender? An entire gender. We're gonna try and make this irrelevant and call it a bonus hole instead of what it is.
If you're not sucking on a giant Tootsie Roll, who doesn't enjoy falling into a bonus hole?
Yeah, but if it's not a man, it's not a woman, pregnant people, yada yada, doesn't that erase that one gender that can do those magic things with the bonus hole? I mean, come on,
boy, and are there some of them that yes, they can start wars. And let's move on to the next one, shall we? Going all the way back to 1976.
Yeah, and I promise, if someone checks these facts,
don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even use the words. We've decided to use for going forward. No. The word we're going to use is vacuum. Brandon Bush uses pie eating contest for the election. We're using vacuum for the you know what.
All I was going to point out is this may be erroneous information, but if it's not, come on, man. Come on, man. So,
come on, man. Here we go. 3, 2.
On, man.
Channel 7's 11 o'clock Action News with Bill Bonds, John Kelly, and Detroit's #1 news team.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Bonds, and here's a look at what's happening tonight. And what's happening is that the swine flu program ground to a halt from coast to coast today. There have been now 12 reported deaths so far, with victims dying just a few hours after receiving those inoculative shots. All of the victims were elderly persons, and all, we are told, died of apparent heart attacks. In the state of Michigan, the state health director, Maurice Wisen, ordered a stop to all swine flu shots after 3 Michigan men died hours after receiving their health officials estimate that 10,000 Michigan people have already received their shots, and President Gerald Ford told ABC Television News tonight that he intends to get his.
So there you go. If it was on Channel 7, 11 o'clock Action News, got to be true,
now,
right?
Well, I mean, we were in 7th grade, and I mean, we probably didn't even notice. I mean, I remember swine. Well, it depends on what part of the year it was.
Well, it would have been summertime.
Point being is that we didn't pay attention to that stuff. But if you look back, really took 12 people, 12 adverse reactions to cancel that thing. And how about the tens of thousands of negative reactions that have happened now, and we're still giving it. So just
and those vacuums, and there's still people out there making you buy vacuums. It's crazy. It really is crazy.
And want them.
Yep. All right, I give you a big pitcherino for Tool School on the Insta, on the IG.
And now on Twitter, so you can get Tool School wherever you traverse the interwebs. So check it out. I put some cool stuff on there. Talked about your treehouse, and I'm trying to do some more projects. If you have any interest, check it out. Twitter, it's Tool School with a K. TOOLSKOOL, and we'll see you there.
The First Amendment.
Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Lives here. Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.